Good evening. Evening stream, everybody. The storm's about to come. Vlad, how you doing? I'm doing great. And good evening to you, Vlad. I promised you that I would do a stream, and I'm doing one. I want to check something. Yeah, you're in Russia. It's a lot of snow over there. Yep. Anyway, I wonder if oh man, I forget names again. I can understand where you're coming from, Vlad. Here in the northeastern part of the United States, yeah, it's kind of like that. Maybe not nearly as bad when it comes to snow a lot of times, but we're about to get a couple inches of snow now, so it's off and on. But we're about to get hit hard, Sabrina, yeah, Sabrina. I wonder if Sabrina made that video. Somewhat. Well, I'm already prepared. I'm already got my supplies ready. Unlike everyone else, I'm always stocking up. Galaxy, how you doing? See, if you keep yourself supplied, you don't have to worry about scrambling to the supermarket now, do you? All right. I wonder if Sabrina made that video. I wondered, did Sabrina make that video about the view? I want to see that one. I'm doing great. And I hope it's a good evening for you. I know where the storm is about to hit soon enough, Exactly, Galaxy. Of course, you're a Russian. You have your vodka. Well, if you just came in, give me a like. Thumbs up, people. I chose this time of day because, it's not too late. you know. All right, let's talk about some things. For this kind of weather, you're going to need a certain type of gear. You're going to maybe for the heavy inches of snow, you need a snowsuit, heavy jackets. You need to wear layers of clothing. I'm way ahead of that. Heavy boots. You need some heavy-duty, weather-resistant boots. Very important. Now, if I had the money, I would book the next plane ticket to Hawaii right now. If I had the money, I'd book the next train ticket to Hawaii. You'd see me in Waikiki and with a couple of topless brown chicks, in grass skirts, and me with a coconut drink. About it right now. Ain't no train. I have to take a plane to Hawaii, but I would love to do it. I certainly, if I could, I'd be on my ass. I'd be the first ticket to Hawaii right now. I know. I know. No, I didn't lose power. Yep, it's gonna be fun. Oh man, I'm getting to the point where I don't even have to watch movies anymore. I'll tell you why. Every time I fall asleep, I have the most interesting dreams where movies just don't compare to how interesting they are. I once had a dream I was a vampire hunter, putting a stake in a vampire woman's heart. Not exactly good in this kind of weather, Galaxy. There ain't much sunshine coming around. Especially not in Connecticut. Oh man, she's fooling herself if you think that's going to work in a cloudy winter environment. Solar panels work if you live in the desert or a tropical environment, or if it's summertime. I got news for you. Summer solar panels don't do crap when it's wintertime, when it's cloudy. There's less sunlight. Good for you, Galaxy. Can't save her. Glad. Good for you, Galaxy. I have some cousins who have solar panels, but they also have for wintertime, they have a wood burning stove. Mm-hmm. Okay. I wonder. There we go. Well, I got Sabrina's. Let's see what's. This is all Sabrina's built. Well, it's got a cat and a dog, a Chihuahua, a Chihuahua, and a cat. No videos. She didn't do anything on the view. Interesting. So I guess so. I would. Well, a submissive woman, I would say, Galaxy, but not a queen. The only queens I know are drag queens, and I don't talk to them. Yeah, I am ready to defend myself. Lad. What would I call my woman? I've when I had a girlfriend, I did have a nickname for my uh for my what I thought was my girlfriend. A little pet names, you could say. Never called Queen though. No, no. Well, that's not true of every part of America. If you go to rural parts of America, we do store away. I'm constantly storing food. The cities. Let me explain to you about. There's a difference between urban and rural people. Okay, big difference between those two types of people. As we've seen in Minnesota, urban people are kind of weird. They do stupid shit. Yeah, urban people. I tell you, I've been to the cities. I know a lot of them. I wouldn't go there. Nah, I wouldn't go to the cities at all. And I always say this: avoid the cities. In America, you need to avoid those cities, particularly if you look like me. Yes, anything urban should be avoided as much as possible. If you're taking a trip to America, hypothetically, if you're a foreigner in this country, I would tell you to avoid a lot of major cities. Don't be touring the cities. But there are cities that you should avoid. Or if you do go to those cities, you better be aware. You better have some information about certain areas you don't go. You better have some street smarts about you. You know. Mm. Don't go there. That is a collapse city. That is like Mad Max City. That city is dead. No, no, no. So is Baltimore. Baltimore is pretty much like Detroit right now. And I would tell you not to go there, Galaxy, for your own safety. Exactly. Small. Sometimes bigger isn't better. You know, sometimes bigger is just not better. Small can be a little cozy, you know? Exactly, Galaxy. It's also, a Los Angeles. Good for you, Galaxy. It's also, and in my opinion, it's also Los Angeles. I'm surprised it's burned to the ground, right? There's been wildfires and riots. It's been burning for a while, you know. It's been crazy. Yes, lethal ones. Okay. I also have lethal weapons. I just don't show them to you. Wouldn't go there if you asked me to. You know how many muggings and robberies happen there? I wouldn't even go there. It's a piece of shit city. I would go to Florida, but I probably wouldn't go to Miami. I might go to what's it? Jacksonville. Maybe not Jacksonville. I would go to other parts of Florida, but I would try to avoid Miami as much as possible. Everything I heard, although you have greater self-defense rights in Miami, so that might be a positive thing. Nah, probably not. I'm not big into gambling and stuff, and it's not really my thing. I will say I've been to Baltimore, and I'll never go back. I was in Pittsburgh. I actually spent the night in Pittsburgh. Not a bad city. Kentucky is a beautiful place. A lot of mountains, a lot of rural locations. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm maybe it's my autism, but I'm a little bit more rational, let's say, than other people. Okay, I never saw the logic in gambling. Okay, don't be wrong. I like games. I like to play games, just like I play board games and stuff like that. I played different kinds of games. I like foosball, but I never saw the logic in gambling. You're gonna play a game where the chances of you winning are slim to none. Doesn't sound like a fun game to play. Where more than likely you're gonna lose a lot of money. Yes, I've never been a billiards guy. I am very good at foosball. Very good. Actually, when I was in Baltimore, I beat a whole bunch of people at foosball. I found out I have a talent for it. I can play them bars, spin them bars like you never saw coming. If I had the space, I'd get a foosball table. I really would. Yeah. Yeah, Galaxy. One of my many talents. I'm not a good pool player. I can't play pool. That's not my game. But you put me on a foosball table, I will win. Yes, I do. Well, I can't do that in live stream, Galaxy. You know the problem with that. I might do some recording, maybe. After the I think after the stream, I'll do that. Okay. Okay. I could do that. I did put up a short recently. Oh, thank you, Black Swan. All right, if you just came in, give me a like. Thumbs up, people. Thumbs up. Damn. I've done that. I know you like my cooking streams, and I like them too, but uh, finding new ingredients and new recipes, that's the problem. You know what I mean? Keeping it fresh. Hey, Nomad, how you doing? Oh, yeah. Well, I support what ICE is doing. I really do. I've seen stories of illegal aliens who murdered American citizens, particularly girls and young women. Um, that's got to be that has to be that must be stopped, and it is being stopped. You know, and a lot of liberals think, well, you're violating these illegal aliens' rights. Excuse me. In order to have rights, you have to be a U.S. citizen. I don't know where these illegal aliens. I mean, these liberals. They're calling. They're also basically calling illegal aliens Americans. I'm sorry, they're not Americans. I'm an American. They're not American. And they're calling themselves the real Americans. Bullshit. The real Americans love this country. Okay? Real Americans love this country and want to protect this country. I got news for you, liberals. You want to destroy this country. So you're not real Americans. Screw off on that bullshit. Yeah, just common sense, people. If my dad was still alive, he'd say a lot worse stuff than I'd be saying. My dad would say some stuff. Oh, I remember. I'm not going to even repeat some of the things that Dad used to say with me, and it was so funny sometimes. But but I'm not going to repeat it. But it basically probably get me in trouble with YouTube if I had to repeat some of the things my father said to me. So was mine. He was a veteran. Awesome. Awesome. But I'm just not going to say it. I won't say it because there's something he said once to me uh, that I couldn't repeat on the live stream. I just couldn't. Because we're on a censored platform, I couldn't do it. But my dad once said a lot of things about the thing. He even back then he was aware of. My dad was aware of things that were going on in the country. He wasn't happy with it. Thank you, Vlad. But it won't be a good weekend because I'll be hibernating. A lot because of the winter storm. Okay. Well, that's how it is, I guess. Yep. Well, let's get into other things, shall we? Well, just a little bit. One of my pistols. All right. All righty then. That was a little glimpse of what I'm going to do in a video soon. All right. It seems the stream has gone a little bit. The chat has gone cold a little bit. We'll keep going, I guess. Where do I want to go to? Oh, you're back, Galaxy. You know, I'm going to talk about something. Okay. In my state of Maryland, I actually witnessed a law came into being because of certain things. Okay. This happened because of an accident that happened with the boat. And someone was drinking and driving a boat. Now, back in the 80s, that wasn't illegal. You could actually drive a boat and drink in the 80s. Yeah, I know. You could actually drive a boat and drink in the 80s. But there was an incident that happened in the harbor that changed that. Apparently, new laws were drafted in the state of Maryland where you can't ride a boat and get plastered at the same time. Before that, you could. Apparently, there was an accident on the harbor. So that was an interesting change in my state. Has you ever witnessed something like that? I know, but I'm saying back in the day, back in the state of Maryland, you could drive a boat drunk. You just couldn't drive a car drunk back then, even then. I think it's called a BUI, boating under the influence. In the state of Maryland, it's called a BUI. So, look, yeah, I get that. Drinking and driving anything is a bad idea, but it's interesting to me that I witnessed a change in the laws after some bad situation. Well, apparently, what happened is that someone got drunk on the harbor and accidentally killed somebody with a boat. So I remember that. I remember the story that came out with that. But before that, everybody was drinking and boating. It was big in the 80s. You'd have a beer in one hand and a boating and a steering wheel on a boat in the other around here in Maryland. It was yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm going to share that story with you. My God, your uncle was weird, creepy. I have nephews. I would never do that. And nieces. That's very true. Gen X was built differently. Gen X. I remember when I was a kid. Tap the Rockies. Oh, that's funny, Rocky. All right, we got some good things going, don't we? Oh yeah. But I don't drink. Now I have family members that would drink themselves into a stupor. I have alcoholics in my family, and so it's like. And I'll tell this one story. I had an older half brother. He's no longer with us, sadly. He was basically a hardcore alcoholic, but he was a nice guy, drunk or sober. I remember he used to, and I'll tell this story. I don't know who Bradley Sharp is, but I think I heard of him. But I'll explain this. This is my brother was like the town drunk. That's how bad he was with his drinking. I remember one time, and he got a whole big fifth of vodka. We're talking about this jug here, right? And you have to see it to believe it, because you're not going to believe me when I say it, okay? But it happened. My older half brother Rocky could drink down a whole big plastic jug of vodka in 1 second. Whoa, I was like, 1 second, it was gone. And he was wasted. I know. I've seen some crazy stuff in my time. Yeah, it is amazing to me. But I'm from the generation where you laugh about it, otherwise you go insane. You lose your sanity. So you got to find the humor in it. It's like, for example, when I was a kid, my dad got full custody of us when we were kids, me and my brothers. But my mom was around. It's just a lot of times we didn't want her around. Us kids were scared. Mom was schizophrenic, and she was adding drugs and alcohol with that combination. It was nitroglycerin in the human body. So my mom was like this, and I love her. I forgave her. I realize she's just crazy. My mom was like this. 1 week she'll be she'll be the nicest woman in the world. Nicest woman. The other week, she'll want to gouge your eyes out. She'll throw temper tantrums and stuff like that. They say, "Oh, my mom was crazy." No. My mom was certifiable. She scared us many times. We used to run and hide from her. I was like, no, crazy lady. Because she would just do things that would traumatize us. It was like, oh no, her, no. It's okay. But that's the thing. I find the humor in it. Oh, that was from the Wolf Energy thing. That wasn't a real cologne. Well, we don't always get what we want in life. I had a loving father. I had an aunt that was, oh, Sabrina, I was watching your channel. I didn't see your view video. Didn't see that one. Just watching your channel. Oh! I remember my aunt was she was kind of like my mom, and she was like she saw me as her kid, and we used to basically hang out with their cousins a lot. So we had that. I had a version. I had my grandmother. I had my aunt. So I had some good maternal figures growing up. It's. I remember a few times, like, because Dad always had a soft heart towards my mom. I don't know why he always let her back, because he had full custody. But because she would always do crazy stuff and scare the hell out of us kids. I mean, when we're kids, it's like, damn, you know. I don't know why Dad would. I think because he loved her, even though they weren't married anymore. You know, he genuinely loved her. You know. So what happened was, so a few times Mom would, we were, that's true, that's true, Rocky. It's just Mom was crazy. Okay, she was deranged. It was no fault of her own. She suffered from schizophrenia, and she also in her younger years had a problem with drugs and alcohol. My mom was arrested more times than you can shake a stick at. You know, drunk and disorderly was the charge most of the time. I remember my dad said I remember one time my dad said, "Son, your mom's been arrested." And I'm a 10-year-old boy, and I'm trying to imagine my mom being arrested. And I did a little joke that made my dad laugh. I know my rights. I know my rights. I could picture her yelling that when she was arrested. I made my dad laugh. It's okay. You got to find the humor. Here's the thing. I'm from a generation that finds the humor in everything. You got to learn to laugh at things a little bit, because otherwise you'll go crazy. Yeah, I know. I know. I don't, I don't try to dwell in the past that much. Yes, I come from a dysfunctional childhood. Yes, my childhood wasn't all that great. I basically highlight the good parts a lot of times. I highlight the good parts. That's what you got to do. Yes, we do. I remember. I'll tell another mom story. I remember when we were kids, right? Mom would come over and stay with us from time to time. Dad would let her back. I wouldn't. I would never let her back because of the crazy stuff she does. But anyway, Mom would just start complaining about certain food items, certain spices that were in the kitchen, and I used to remember with my brother whispering in his ear with a joke. That's just Mom's bitching in the kitchen again. She's bitching in the kitchen. She's bitching in the kitchen. She bitching in the kitchen. I used to do that one. I love that one. Bitching in the kitchen. I did that one. It's like now there was a story. We were I think we were teenagers when she see, my dad used to say something about Mom. Well, that's just your mom showing her ass again. That's what my dad would say. That we do. That we do. She likes to show her ass. that was so right. Showing her ass. She showed her ass so many times. It's like, oh boy. I laugh about it a little bit, There was one time, and I'll tell this one story, okay? I was living in an apartment with we were older. We were like 18, like 15, 16. So we were grown. We were halfway grown. We were not little kids anymore that were frightened anymore. A lot of that stuff made us tough. A lot of the things we went through toughened us up quite a bit. So what happens is that my mom comes back drunk. I mean, as usual. But when my mom is drunk, she's you don't want to be around her. She's not a nice drunk. You know what I mean? She's mean. And so what happens is that Dad is trying to tell her you got to go in a polite kind of way. It's like, you must leave. You got to go. And Mom, I knew Mom wasn't gonna just peacefully say, "Oh no, I understand. I gotta go. I'm drinking." No, what she did was throw furniture onto the ground, like tip over furniture that was near the door, and throw it to the ground. And she said, "Not before I kill you." And it was like, and I looked at my brother, and I was like, "Brother." And we had a way of communicating without talking. We could just look in each other's eyes. I am tough, Hammer. And we knew what we had to do. So what we did is what we did. We were peaceful about it. We walked out. We walked up to Mom, and we grabbed her shoulder by shoulder like you would drag a mental patient into a rubber room, took her downstairs, locked the door, and told her to come back when she was sober. Oh boy, not strong enough. This is why you need a man. Don't you have a husband, Sabrina? I know. Oh boy. Oh yeah, that's what us boys used to say. Oh, here we go again. That's what we used to say. Oh man. But don't get me wrong, I forgave Mom because I realized she was just crazy. And it's not, you can't basically hold a grudge because she acted crazy. Crazy's gonna act crazy. Sorry to hear that, Sabrina. Well, you might be able to get another guy out there, I guess, to help you, I guess, to hire somebody, maybe on the ranch hand or something. I remember near the end, Mom was a little less physical when she got older, near the end of her life. But she would still do stuff that would basically and I remember hearing stories about the stuff she used to pull with my sister-in-law. Oh man, it was amazing. Sorry to hear that, Sabrina. So I was exchanging stories with my sister-in-law, and apparently there were several times where she was doing her crazy stuff. It's on a milder level. She would call the cops. She used to do that a lot, and try to get the cops in her favor. And so she was to do that with my sister-in-law. I don't know what. I think it's because my sister-in-law, although we don't always agree with each other, she's a strong-willed woman, my sister-in-law, and so is my mom, and they didn't always get along. Anyway, I'll get off that subject. Now, my dad was a really cool dad. He was a veteran. He was sometimes a little temperamental, but he was cool. Everyone liked my dad. Everybody. Both sides of the family had nothing bad. No one ever said anything bad about dad. Dad was just like, he made so many friends. He had both sides of the family that loved him. I mean, the funerals was just packed with mourners. Oh boy. Oh boy, I don't know what to electric start. I don't know. Well, I hope you got a fireplace or something like that. Yeah, like, hey, APC, how you doing, buddy? Oh yeah, he was. He was a nice guy. My dad was awesome. Oh yes, we are. Hammer and nails. You bet we are. It's going to be one of those heavy winters. It's going to be a couple days of snow. There's nothing beautiful about Baltimore, Putty Cat. If you ever been there, you'll know. So if Baltimore freezes over, I am perfectly fine with that. As a matter of fact, if the whole city crumbles, I'm also fine with that. Thank you, Putty Cat. Exactly, APZ. Oh yeah, Academy Yards. Yeah, it's nice. I guess so. In Maryland, we have a saying. Okay, if you're on the highway and you're on your way to Baltimore, stay on the highway until you leave city limits. Never go into the city. Okay. Oh, cool. Gloves. I don't do gloves. Okay. This is an outdoor channel, Sam. Uh, I will in a video, hammer and nails. Anyway, let's let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I haven't ate anything yet. I'll figure it out. Beef. It's what's for dinner. You got that right, Putty Cat. I got all those supplies. Good for you. I'm not a pork fan, though. I'm more of a beef and poultry fan. Mm-hmm. All right. We got 10 views and 9 likes. If you just came in, hit that like button. Smash that like button. All righty then. We're doing well. We're doing well. Sorry to hear that, Hammer. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'll be going because of the storm, Putty Cat. It's going to be bad. Really, really bad. We're talking about a foot of snow. So it's probably a no-no. No, it's not. Sabrina, I thought you said you were going to make that video about the view, Sabrina. Remember? What happened to that? I was on your channel. The only clip I saw a clip of your dog and your chihuahua. That's about it. Hi, chihuahua. Okay, Sabrina. That's a classic boomer saying, I walked 2 miles in the snow. Well, I can assure you that I have no place to go, and so I don't need to walk out in the snow. But since you're from Arizona, APZ, APZ, you're from Arizona. There's no snow in Arizona. You live in a desert. So how could there be any 2 foot of snow? Probably. Interesting, APZ. Yeah, they have flash floods and I think fires, like dry brush fires. You know what I mean? Interesting, APZ. Yeah, they do, Putty Cat. Exactly, APZ. Yes, lots of rattlesnakes, Putty Cat. Galaxy. All righty then. Ooh, I'm putting my life away. Looking for a better day. Oh, me. Wolf energy. Okay. Thank you, All Star. Oh, it's been a long time. Yes, there's a big storm coming. I know. Well, yeah. 2 S's, 1 S. You know, it's like. Quite a few times. It's not on camera, Hammer. You forget there are certain things I'm not allowed to do. Although I do think the women would be wanting to have my children after if I showed my true form, you know. But it would be a problem because I probably wouldn't live long enough. Yeah. Because they're crazy. How about that? They don't have God. And they are basically, you know, so I once read an article that said that, you know, liberalism is toxic femininity. And basically, a lot of these liberal women are just ugly. Have you noticed that? They're not the prettiest women, and they don't have any kids. And so they're putting their maternal instincts towards, you know, some very people that are, you know, well, that hate them and would love to destroy them. So I don't know, you know. Liberal women are not rational, okay? Like most women, they're not rational. But hey, I accept it, you know. But, you know, when women have children, they're more rational. They're more rational in the sense they realize if they have children, they want their children to grow up in a world where then the nation is strong. But if a woman doesn't have children, she doesn't care about the country. She doesn't care. She only cares. So she basically her maternal instincts are diverted into other things like liberal causes. So if a woman has children, she's going to be more conservative because she wants a safe place for her children to be in. She thinks about her children first. Well, if a woman doesn't have children, let's say you got these ugly liberal women, because let's be honest, they're fucking butt ugly. Okay. Yeah. And I think it's true to be saying that feminism was invented by ugly bitches, as Leonardo Joni once said. Leonardo Joni, great female comedian. Well, you put your country first, don't you? You're not a liberal. Do you have any liberal views at this point? Do you support ICE? Because I support ICE. Support Trump? When you have children, you think about your children first. And then you think about your nation. The people around you, the people that are around your children. Liberal women, well, they didn't have children. They were sold a weak bill of goods, you could say. They thought they could have it all. They thought they could be a career women and be homemakers at the same time. Well, that don't work. Yeah. I agree with that, Putty Cat, according to the Bible. So these liberal women, they're crazy. I get that. And they are destructive. You know, but you know, the thing is that the biggest problem is that for the longest time, we didn't check them. Now they're getting checked. They're getting some accountability. I think they are by ICE and the federal government. But it's up to us men to check them from time to time, to tell them, No, you're not doing that. I mean, so to the liberal women out there, you know, you're supporting people that hate you, pretty much. They hate your country. They hate your genetics. They hate everything about you. I mean, it's not worth it. These people would end you in a second. How insane do you have to be? They already ended women who look like you. Lake and Riley, ring a bell? I'm ready, All Star. Amen, All Star. Thank you. God bless you. All right. Well, got some good stuff here. Yeah, the liberal women, they're finally facing accountability, which is good. It's not hard to keep a man happy that way. And of course, give him no grief, give him no lip. Don't be his peace, not his chaos. Okay, men have to deal with how chaotic the world is already out, and when they go out to work and have to do shit. No, man, they want to come home to a peaceful home where you're not constantly yapping in his ear. And forgot the last one, Putty Cat. Cook, clean, and know when to keep your mouth shut. That's another one, ladies. Know when to keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? And not to be disrespectful. Yeah, give them loving too, but that knowing when to keep your mouth shut is an important thing. You know, knowing when to zip it. It is All Star. It very is so. All righty then. It does appear it's this stream is winding down. All right. So true, All Star. God bless you. All glory goes to God. And have a nice evening.